What is up, my beautiful, beautiful peach? I am excited about today's podcast episode because we are going to be talking about overcoming the mental struggle of eating more calories during a reverse diet. This is something that I think is a really important topic that is not actually talked about enough. And it is something that when I have clients who, and for myself as well, actually, when I did my first reverse diet, but when we are coming from a space of living in the diet world, living in the diet mentality, living in the world of I must eat less in order to see more results, what's going to happen is it becomes really, really, really mentally hard to follow through with your reverse diet. And this in turn will actually set your results back farther because it's taking you longer to fully commit to that reverse diet and to feel really good in that reverse diet. So what I want to do, and I really, really hope I'm actually sitting in my office and they are doing all kinds of stuff outside with a wood chipper, a giant wood chipper, and cutting out trees. And I really hope you can't hear it. My fingers are crossed because I can hear it very, very well. So if you hear it, I apologize. I apologize. I hope it's not too shouty. Hope you can't hear it too bad. So I'm going to actually walk through a couple different things here as well as, so a couple different things in the background of the psychology of dieting. This is something that I really studied a lot in my master's degree. Part of my master's thesis, reverse dieting to heal our metabolism. So to have that long-term fat loss, to have that food freedom, but I actually also studied the diet mentality and the effect on dieting on our mentality and really digging into actually healing that. So I want to talk a little bit about that. So we're going to start first and foremost with the psychological attachment to restriction, which a lot of people don't even realize that they have an attachment to restriction. It almost becomes a comfort to them. It almost becomes something that's like, oh, I know how to do this. I've done this my whole entire life. Yes, it's easy for me to restrict. Okay, great, let's do it. Even though we know that it doesn't actually feel good to us, it leads to longer term problems. It's not actually creating the sustainable results we want, but it's what we know. And also we are conditioned due to the diet industry to think that eating fewer calories is the only way to lose weight or to maintain or to achieve a certain physique. And because the diet mentality is so incredibly ingrained in our mind, because just society, that's just the way society is. I mean, you look back to some of the movies. My husband and I actually just got back from Italy and I want to go back. It was so much fun. Wildly enough, that was actually my third time in Italy. I did not realize it until I was literally there and Colt and I were talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I've actually been here numerous times. I have traveled a lot in my life, and that's something that I am very, 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 very grateful for. I highly recommend getting a credit card that gives you good points. Always pay off that credit card, kids, but also get one that gives you good points because you can use it for Sky Miles, you can use it for hotels. I love to try and credit card, figure out those little hacks there. But one of the really cool things is while I was there, I had this realization. So two thoughts here, and then we'll bring it back. But I had this realization. I have not had diet mentality thoughts in over a decade. And it is one of the most freeing feelings in the entire world to eat the pasta daily, to drink the wine, the carbonara, to have the prosciutto, right? To have all of this, the gelato, this incredible, incredible food. And know without a doubt that number one, I'm on track with my goals, but number two, literally not even once have a single ounce of guilt. And every single woman in the entire world deserves that feeling, deserves that freedom. And it was really wonderful too, because I came back, my weight was exactly the same. Of course, I had a little bit of water retention. It is very, 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 very natural after traveling to have some water retention. You were outside of your normal routine. For me, I had a lot more wine than I normally do, right? A lot more, just a very big difference in my overall lifestyle. And it was wonderful, but I had zero stress over the fact that, I felt a little bit of a water retention. It's completely gone now. I wasn't stressed about, the fear of getting off track or anything of that sort. And I just freely lived. And it is truly something that every single woman in the entire world deserves. And my second thought on this too, which was it's very interesting. So I enjoyed, of course, all the food, all the things, all the wine when I was in Italy. And on my way back for the very long 9-hour flight, oh my gosh, that flight. I've been to South Africa as well, and that was like a 15-hour flight. So coming back from Italy, it was I think 9.5 hours, somewhere around there. I don't know why. And we left in the morning and arrived in the evening. That was the longest flight of my life. I don't know why it felt so long, but oh my goodness gracious, it was the longest flight. I think I watched 4 movies. But what was super interesting about these movies that I was watching, there were little bits and pieces. Of course, now I'm completely blanking on the movie that I did watch, but in this particular movie that I was watching, oh, I wish I could remember what it was. I can't remember, but it was talking about all of these diet mentality type things. Like even in Mean Girls, right? You hear, oh, like skipping carbs, right? Movies talking about how you shouldn't eat pasta. I did watch Eat, Pray, Love. And in one of those scenes, one of the girls was saying, she can't eat the pasta. She's going to have to get bigger pants. And then the main character is like, so what? Eat the pasta, enjoy it, right? Like do those things. And it's so wild to me to kind of look back at the way that movies were probably about 10 years ago and how they themselves in the movies, in the media, in, the movie stars that we see, so much of the diet mentality was even ingrained in those pieces. So of course we're going to be really truly thinking that I must eat less to see results. I must not eat carbs. Oh, sugar is the worst, because not only are we seeing it from the diets that are, being promoted in the world, we're also seeing it through social media, through movies, through, whatever XYZ movie star is doing. Oh, the next diet they are doing. So of course, we are going to naturally have this diet mentality ingrained in us and have this psychological attachment, not only to the restriction because it's what we know, but also because it's what we are seeing every single day. So it takes more than just ditching the diet mentality. It takes an active effort every single day to say, no, this is not the mentality that I want. No, this is, not the mentality that is true. And to really show up for yourself to heal from that diet mentality, okay? But on top of that, one of the huge fears that I think I know a lot of women have, probably every single person that has ever done a reverse diet, of course, has had some fear. Oh my gosh, am I going to gain weight? Oh my gosh, if I eat more food, I'm going to gain all the weight back. And especially if you have spent years upon years upon years focusing on restriction, it is going to be scary doing something that is new and outside of your comfort zone. And also, it's going to be scary staying exactly where you are. And I think for me personally, knowing that thousands upon thousands upon thousands of women have successfully reverse dieted, when I was doing my very, very first reverse diet personally, like over 10 years ago, I think it was a really, really comfort to me knowing that, hey, this is not some brand new thing. This is not just a trend. This is the way that our body truly works. It does work when done properly. And that was something that really helped me. And I'll give you a couple other tips at the end of this episode, but it was really helpful for me to know that I wasn't the first person doing this and that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of women, who way more than thousands. I was gonna say millions. I almost actually feel like there probably are millions. I don't actually know, but I feel like that makes so much sense. But who have done a successful reverse diet, because truly, when you do it correctly, it will work. Now, it is true. Yes, you must be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, right? So a lot of us are like, well, I am in a calorie deficit. Why should I eat more? I'm in a deficit. I should be losing weight. But if you're in a calorie deficit and you're not losing weight, it means you do have a slow metabolism, right? You've got that metabolic adaptation of your metabolism slowing down, so you need the reverse diet. And so staying in that calorie deficit is going to do absolutely nothing for you. And so you need to take that next step into that reverse diet in order to have the progress happen and in order to actually lose that fat, okay? So I have a few tips on how to work through the psychological effects, the mental effects of the diet mentality, especially if you've been in that space for a very long time. The first and foremost one is you have to consciously work on the mindset that you do have. And I know that sounds so simple and so broad, but what I mean by that is you will probably have multiple times a day the thoughts that come up if I eat this, I will gain fat. Oh, I shouldn't be eating more food. Oh, sugar is bad. Oh, carbs are bad. As you're eating these things, you need to acknowledge it. You need to recognize it. You need to say, yes, I see that this is a diet mentality thought that I've been having for the past 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I get it. I recognize it. I release it. And I'm going to move forward because I deserve to be free from these thoughts. Okay? Don't try to ignore it completely. Don't try to tell yourself it's so terrible I'm having these thoughts. Hear yourself. Okay, I recognize I am currently eating bread. It is terrifying to me because it's new and outside of my diet comfort zone. I recognize that the past me thought that carbs were terrible. And also, I'm going to see it, I'm going to hear it, and I'm going to move on. Okay? You need to work on shifting that mindset entirely, but not by completely ignoring or telling yourself, oh, I'm so terrible for thinking these, I'm the worst for thinking these, okay? Because if we're gonna sit there and we're gonna tell ourselves, oh, I'm so terrible, oh, I'm the worst, that's not actually doing anything beneficial to you. That's simply telling yourself more negative things. And our minds are so insanely powerful, and they are going to hear, and our bodies are going to, I know it sounds weird because it's like I'm talking about our body as if it's like a separate entity, but our minds really truly will hold on to that. And I read this book forever ago, and basically when we're thinking, the thoughts that we have create new neurons, and we become more comfortable having these negative thoughts, and we start to truly believe it. So the more you tell yourself, oh, I'm the worst. Oh, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail this. Oh, I can't trust myself. The more you tell yourself those things, the more you're going to believe it, and the more you're going to actually self-sabotage and not move forward. So the trick here is to acknowledge the thoughts that you are having, recognize you're having them, remind yourself that it does not have to be your story, and to move on into the next space by shifting your total mindset by saying, hey, no, I can do this. I am worthy. No, I'm not going to fail, because every single past failure, if you will, is a learning lesson, and it's showing you what you need to do, what you do and don't want. You don't want the restriction. You don't want to be stuck in, the cycle of binge restrict for the rest of your life. You don't want to have the food guilt for the rest of your life that is taken away from the joy and the memories of baking cookies with your kids or a significant other, of going on these holidays and eating the pasta, drinking the wine, right? You don't want to live a life of that restriction, because what's scarier than actually doing the work and getting outside of your comfort zone and healing from the diet mentality is literally thinking about being stuck in that binge restrict cycle, in that diet mentality for literally the rest of your life. So you're laying there on your deathbed looking back at your life and not remembering the joy of the memories you made, but actually remembering the diets you've done, the guilt you felt, the restriction you had. That to me is so much more scary. And I know that's so morbid, but that is so much more scary to me than getting outside of your comfort zone, okay? Now, dieting really does cause trust issues with ourselves. I have a note in here, and I want to talk about that for just a second ago. Just like having trust issues with an ex, I personally, way back when, my very first serious relationship, the man cheated on me so many times, and I was an idiot, and it is what it is, right? I learned my lesson. But the problem with that was, for a while, I wasn't actually healing myself and healing my experience with the trust issues that was created in that relationship. Therefore, I took that baggage with me into future relationships, okay? And that does nothing, absolutely nothing, for having an absolutely amazing relationship with maybe the love of your life. So for me, it was really, really, really important to me to actually heal. And I spent so much time healing from that to, work on that baggage, to open it up, to unpack it, and then to leave it behind, because I not only deserved a better future for myself, but for my husband, for my relationship. And if you're going to bring the baggage from past diets, aka ex relationships with diets, right? It's not going to support you having a better future with a sustainable lifestyle and the relationship with that sustainable lifestyle, okay? It's the same exact thing with dieting. You've got to do the inner work. Literally, if you need to, I love visual examples. So if you need to, literally think about a suitcase. What would be in your suitcase, right? Like, what diets are in that suitcase? What diet mentality is in that suitcase? Honestly, if you need to, write it down. I'm a big journaler. I journal every single morning. This could be a great exercise for you, but write down like my diet baggage if you want to, and literally make an entire list of everything about the diet mentality that you have and you do not like and that you want to heal from. No, how to think up there. And that you want to heal from, okay? Now, the big thing, this is kind of like a mix of things that have helped me, things that the psychological effects of the diet mentality. So there's a couple mix-ins in there. But one of the really, really big things that supported me in healing my relationship with my body, with food, and to really take that dive into a reverse diet is actually understanding the scientific benefits of eating more calories. Now, note that when I did my very first reverse diet, I did not actually have my degrees yet. So I've got my bachelor's degree in nutrition and dietetics. I've got my master's in exercise science and sports nutrition. And I actually wrote my master's thesis on reverse dieting for that sustainable fat loss to heal our relationship with food and also the psychological effects. Yeah, that's not the exact name of my thesis. It was a very long title, but I had to fit it on there. I was like, it's incredible. It was the best thing I've ever done for my life. I'm the biggest nerd, and it made me very excited. And I am now where I am because I'm literally obsessed with helping women heal their metabolism and heal from the diet mentality. Now, before I did my very first reverse diet, I did not have all this education. So I was actually in a space where I was clueless. I was like, I don't want to eat more. I don't get it, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward, when having the actual understanding behind the science of a reverse diet and behind our body and behind our metabolism, it is one of the most relieving things in the entire world, because you come to this realization that the diet industry is truly, truly, truly just falsified information that is built on grabbing quick fixes from women, posting it on their website, on their banners, in the commercials, wherever it might be, and completely ditching the fact that after they have shared all of these testimonials, these women have gone on to gain all the weight back and then some. They have gone on to have a terrible, terrible relationship with food for years upon years until they find someone like me who can help them heal from all of the dieting baggage, heal from the diet mentality, okay? And it's one of the most revealing experiences to understand that, yes, the diet industry sucks. It absolutely sucks because of the mental, the emotional, the physical damage that it does. But if we're gonna sit there and rip ourselves apart because we've done diets, it's not going to benefit us mentally. So we get to learn, yeah, I've got trust issues because of the diet industry. That doesn't mean I'm going to fail. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. That doesn't mean I'm not worthy. It simply means I get to move forward, to learn the what, the why, and the how, to understand my metabolism, to find a sustainable solution, because you know you are so freaking deserving, okay? Because you get to gain that trust back. You get to gain that love for your body back, and you get to follow through because you deserve it, okay? Even when it gets hard, you get to show up and follow through to recognize that, yes, it is hard to heal, but yes, I deserve this. And yes, I'm going to follow through. Okay. Now the mental strategies, I talked a little bit on, reframing our mindset. Instead of thinking I'm eating more, this is going to cause me to gain weight, think, no, I'm eating more to fuel my body, to restore my metabolism, because this is going to help me lose weight long term. Rather than sabotaging your progress, you get to acknowledge the feelings you're having, shift your perspective into, hey, it's okay, I'm having all of these thoughts, I'm healing, and I'm creating a better life for myself and for those around me. Because when we are fueling our body, when we are healing from the inside out, it's going to overflow into every other component of our life. I've had clients who have healed so much. They have gone for a raise. They have decided to start dating again. They have started having more children. They have, it's fixed their relationship with their significant other. They're now having sex again because they're feeling confident in their body. It has fixed their sex life, right? There's so many things that it changes their relationship. I've had kids reach out to me saying, I had a college kid actually who the woman I worked with, she had a couple kids in college, and one of them reached out and said, my mom just visited me. It was so cute though, because Okay, two thoughts here. My client came to me and she was in a space where she even mentioned, like, every time I go visit my kids in college, they want to go have fun. I don't have the energy. I don't want to have the wine. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And it was fun because she, at the end of her time in BPM, was like, I feel free. I just visited my kids in college and I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the drink. Like, I came back and I still feel great. And then her son reached out and said, oh my gosh, my mom is a new woman. He literally was saying that I feel more connected to her because she was totally focused on him. And he literally noticed the fact that his mother was paying more attention to him than the stress about the food on her plate. How freaking wild. How wild, right? It is so incredibly important and so incredibly wonderful to see how that can not only impact your life, but for those around you, right? Now, this is a very basic one, but I have 3 episodes, me being me. I've got 3 episodes I want to refer you to because this is getting a little bit long here and I don't want to take up all your time. We really get to focus on the non-scale victories, okay? Let go of the number on the scale. I know that sounds so wild because we are, again, trained to focus on the scale. Yes, the scale is a measure of progress, but for me personally as a coach, it's literally my least favorite because you can see so many different changes. I have a client who did lose 10 pounds, but she's 5 inches down, and she's eating over 500 more calories, okay? Now, some people might say, I think her initial goal was to lose like 30 pounds, but after she's lost those 5 inches, she's like, I actually literally could care less what the number on the scale is. I feel great. I hit my goal. I'm in way smaller pants. I'm buying new clothes. She feels great. She's like, okay, I don't actually care what the number on the scale says, okay? She's had awesome body recomp as well, muscle growth, right? Having all of these changes. So if we focus only on the scale, we're going to completely miss the fact that we're having all of these wins and actually seeing progress, okay? So a couple episodes I want to refer you to. I always say episode 85. It is by far, it's always been one of my favorite episodes. Freeing yourself from the scale obsession, embracing a healthy body image, one of my favorite episodes. Then a couple others, go to 146, should you weigh yourself when reverse dieting? And then number 147, should you stop weighing yourself daily, why the scale doesn't matter? I feel like those names are a little bit similar, but totally different information in there, okay? Another tip is start slowly, okay? Go slowly. We do weekly check-ins for my Beautiful Peach Mastermind, so we have those weekly checkpoints. However, and it's really, not everybody has their macros adjusted every single week. Some people do, some people don't. Some people might start that way. It's really based on the person, how their weekly progress is going. I am a very, very detail-oriented coach. Every single macro adjustment and every single macro, like literally everything is catered to my clients because there is not a single client in the entire world that should ever have the same information. I do not believe in cookie cutter because cookie cutter does not work. This being said, if I ever have a client who comes to me and she's like, I really, really, really want to take this so incredibly slow, maybe I say, hey, it's time for an increase. And she's like, I don't want to yet. I'm not ready. That's okay. Communicate your feelings, communicate your thoughts. That is okay. That's okay. We can go at your pace, okay? Practice self-compassion and patience for yourself. And I talked about this a little bit more earlier on in the episode, but please give yourself the grace. If you have been dieting for years upon years upon years, it is going to be a learning process. It is not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to take some effort. It's going to hurt a little bit. I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't like sugarcoating. It is not easy to heal from the diet mentality, but you have to be kind to yourself during this transition, because if you're going to tear yourself apart, then you're not actually actively working on the healing process, okay? Recognize you're doing something that's going to benefit you in the long run and ask for help. Truly ask for help. I coach for a reason, because this process, while yes, when you have the right methods, it is a cakewalk, right? Because you follow through those methods. But too many people don't talk about the fact that the actual healing from the diet mentality and the actual healing from, or following through with a reverse diet, because it's scary to do something, that's out of your comfort zone. People don't talk about that, and we need to, because it is something that's outside of your comfort zone, but it's going to change your life. So invest in a coach, whether that's me. Of course, I would love to work with you. So whether that's me or that's whoever the heck else it is, please make sure they do have all the solid credentials. It is a scary world out there. Scary, scary world. I had three women actually who joined BPM very recently in the past few weeks. And every single one of those 3 women have been working with either a nutritionist, dietitian, different coach, etc. And that's the worst part too. It's like, there are people out there who will say they have credentials, but they don't. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? It makes me so frustrated. It makes me so angry. I get so protective over you women because it's your life, it's your body, and that is not something to mess around with, right? Like, when you come and work with me, I will get you results. I will listen to you. I see you. I hear you. We chat. We talk all the time. I'm going to get you results because I know what the heck I'm doing. And excuse my language, but I'm damn good at it. And oh gosh, I just get so incredibly frustrated and so protective over you women. And it's also why I'm literally so obsessed with coaching, and I'm literally so obsessed with my clients. I'm literally getting emotional over here. Why am I the way I am? I literally get so emotional. But I love my clients so dearly because it is so incredibly much fun for me to see you go from this absolute struggle in your body, in your relationship with food, and a lack of trust with yourself, in this terrified place of, oh my gosh, I'm broken, I'm stuck, I'm never gonna see results, to this woman that literally becoming the woman of your dreams. It is one of the most wonderful things in the entire world for me to be a part of. I'm literally like, my eyes are watering. I'm like sitting here getting emotional, but it is one of the most incredible things in the entire world because you're so deserving of it, and you are so worthy, and you are so freaking capable. You need me to come grab your hand and walk you to that area, but you are so deserving and so worthy. And so when I see my clients having this new sense of worth and this new sense of freedom in their body and this, freedom around food, and hearing them say, oh my gosh, I actually am making memories with my family. Oh my gosh, you have literally fixed my sex life. I'm like, well, I don't know if I did that, but in a roundabout way, yes, I guess. It is such a rewarding experience, not only for me as, your coach, but for you to go through this experience and to become the woman of your dreams. Oh, you're just so worthy. You are so worthy, so deserving, so incredible. And don't you dare freaking forget it, okay? Do not forget it. Do not forget it. Go get it tattooed on your forehead if you need to. I'll come tattoo it for you. It's going to look terrible. It's going to be really painful because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I would do it if it will help you remember. So with all of this, I adore you to freaking pieces. You are absolutely amazing. If you enjoy my podcast, I literally have a note in here. I keep forgetting this. Please do a 5-star rate and review because it makes my heart very, very happy to know that I'm not just talking to a screen, but I'm talking to somebody who is enjoying my episode. Please do a 5-star rate and review. It takes 5 seconds and it makes me so happy. So very happy. So with all this, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, my beautiful peach.